Hello everyone and welcome back to Easy Dentistry, a channel that makes dental education incredibly easy and interesting. If you have not yet done, please subscribe to our channel right now. We have already started uploading lectures on the subject microbiology. We have already uploaded the part 1 of sterilization and disinfection chapter. Hope you have watched it. Today we are uploading the part 2 of sterilization and disinfection. In part 2 we will be studying the heat sterilization, in which we would be studying in detail the dry heat method of sterilization and the moist heat method of sterilization. This is a very important topic, so we have separately covered it in part 2. In this part we will be studying the understanding how heat is used for sterilization, the principle of heat sterilization, and the factors affecting the heat sterilization. The dry heat sterilization methods are use of red heat, flaming, incineration, and use of hot air oven. While the moist heat method may be used at a temperature less than 100 degrees Celsius, at 100 degrees Celsius, and more than 100 degrees Celsius. When moist heat is used at a temperature more than 100 degrees Celsius, we use it in autoclave. So in autoclave we use moist heat at a temperature more than 100 degrees Celsius. So heat is the most reliable and the most common method employed for sterilization. There are two types of heat used, the dry heat and the moist heat. Now the principle of heat sterilization. First, the dry heat, it kills the microorganisms by either denaturation of the bacterial protein or oxidative damage to the bacteria, or by increasing the level of electrolytes, which causes toxicity and kills the bacteria. While the moist heat, it kills the microorganisms by denaturation and coagulation of the microorganism proteins. Now the factors influencing heat sterilization. First is the nature of heat, whether it is dry heat or the moist heat. It affects the sterilization process. Secondly, the temperature and duration, that is the time required for sterilization, is inversely proportional to the temperature to which the organisms are exposed. So the time required is more if the temperature used to kill the microorganisms is less, and vice versa. That is, the time required will be less if this temperature will be increased. So there is reverse proportionality between the time and the temperature. So if more time will be required if the temperature used will be less, and less time will be required if the sterilization is done at a higher temperature. Then comes the characteristics of microorganisms and the spores which are present. The bacterial spores are killed by moist heat at a temperature of 121 degrees Celsius when it is exposed for 15 minutes duration. While most of the vegetative bacteria, fungi and viruses are killed in 30 minutes at a temperature of 65 degrees Celsius when moist heat is used. Then the fourth factor influencing heat sterilization is the type of material. A high content of organic substance tend to protect the vegetative forms. If the organic substance is present in high quantity, then there is protection of the vegetative forms from the heat. So if the organic content of the material to be sterilized is more time is needed for sterilization. The example of this organic content are proteins, sugars, fats and starches. Now let us study the dry heat sterilization process in detail. There are 4 procedures used for dry heat sterilization: the red heat, flaming method, incineration method and the hot air oven. Now first, the red heat is used for inoculation. Wires or loops, tips of forceps and needles are held in flame of a Bunsen burner till they become red hot. So a Bunsen burner is used and the inoculation wires, tips of forceps, and needles are held in the flame of this Bunsen burner till they become red hot. Second method is the flaming method, which is used for glass slides, scalpels, and mouth of culture tubes. They are passed through this Bunsen burner till they become red hot. Third method is the incineration. By this method, the infective material is reduced to ashes by burning. Incineration is carried out in an instrument called as incinerator, and it is used most commonly for solid dressing, animal carcasses, bedding, and pathological materials. Then comes the hot air oven, which is an important short answer question too. The hot air oven is the most widely used method for dry heat sterilization. The oven is electrically heated and is fitted with a fan to ensure adequate and even distribution of hot air in the chamber. It is also fitted with a thermostat that maintains the chamber air at a chosen temperature. So here you can see a picture of hot air oven, which is made up of trays on which the samples are placed. There is a timer, there is a temperature control knob, the main switch, and a thermometer which indicates the temperature of this hot air oven. Now, the temperature and time used in this hot air oven, 160 degrees Celsius temperature for 2 hours is the holding time for sterilization. However, alternative temperatures and holding time include 170 degrees Celsius for 1 hour or 180 degrees Celsius for 30 minutes. So remember these temperature and time used in hot air oven. It is very important to remember this. Now the uses of hot air oven are mostly for glassware such as glass syringes, petri dishes, flasks, pipettes, and test tubes, and other surgical instruments like scalpels, scissors, forceps, etc. And for certain chemicals such as liquid paraffin, fats, and sulfonamide powder. Precautions to be used when using the hot air oven. First, you should not overload it. The material should be arranged in such a manner that it allows free air circulation. The material to be sterilized should be perfectly dry. The test tubes, the flasks are fitted with cotton plugs. The petri dishes and pipettes should be wrapped in paper. Then the rubber material, except the silicone rubber or any inflammable material, should not be kept inside the hot air oven. So only the silicone rubber is allowed inside the hot air oven. Other rubber materials are inflammable, so they are not allowed inside the hot air oven. The oven must be allowed to cool for 2 hours before opening the door, since the glasswares may crack by sudden cooling. So this is another important point to remember. Cool the oven for at least 2 hours before opening the doors, because sudden change in temperature may cause glassware to crack. Then the sterilization control in hot air oven, it is done by the spores of Bacillus subtilis. So this is another important MCQ question. In hot air oven, the spores of Bacillus subtilis organism is used. The spores of this bacillus are kept inside the oven. These spores should be completely destroyed to ensure proper sterilization. Now the subspecies which is of Bacillus subtilis which is used is NCTC 10075 and ATCC 9372. So these are questions for your PG entrance exams. Also, thermocouples may be used, which are used to record the temperature inside the hot air oven, and Brownies tube may be used to determine the sterilization in a hot air oven. The brownies tube, after sterilization, the brownies tube, a green color spot is produced in the brownies tube. That is after 2 hours sterilization at 160 degrees Celsius. Now comes the moist heat sterilization. Different temperatures used for moist heat are less than 100 degrees Celsius, at 100 degrees Celsius, and more than 100 degrees Celsius. So at less than 100 degrees Celsius, pasteurization is carried out, inspisation is carried out, vaccine baths are used, and another method is the low temperature steam formaldehyde or LTSF sterilization is used at a temperature less than 100 degrees Celsius. Now let us study each of this method in detail. First is pasteurization of milk. Pasteurization of milk is done by two types, the Holder method and the flash method. By the Holder method, 63 degrees Celsius temperature is used for 30 minutes, and by flash method 72 degrees Celsius temperature is flashed for 20 seconds, and then the cooling is done quickly to 13 degrees Celsius. So these are the two methods of pasteurization of milk. You should remember these two methods, the Holder method and the flash method, and the temperature and duration used in each. Now, all non-sporing pathogens such as Mycobacteria, Brucella and Salmonella are killed by this pasteurization method except Coxiella burnetii, which is heat resistant. They may survive the Holder method. So, the flash method kills this Coxiella burnetii too, but the Holder method may be unable to kill this Coxiella burnetii. This is another important MCQ or Viva question. The Holder method, it cannot kill the Coxiella burnetii microorganism. Then comes the inspisation. Some serum or egg media such as the Lowenstein-Jensen media or the Loeffler's serum slope are rendered sterile by heating at 80 to 85 degrees Celsius for half an hour daily for 3 consecutive days. This method of sterilization is called as inspisation, and it is carried out in an instrument called as inspisator. So the Lowenstein-Jensen media and Loeffler's serum slope are sterilized at 80 to 85 degrees Celsius half hour daily for 3 consecutive days. Then comes the vaccine bath. Bacterial vaccines are sterilized in special vaccine baths at 60 degrees Celsius for 1 hour. Serum or body fluids can be sterilized by heating for 1 hour at 56 degrees Celsius in a water bath on several successive days. So, bacterial vaccine baths are used for the sterilization of the vaccines. Another method of sterilization at a temperature less than 100 degrees Celsius is the LTSF or the low temperature steam formaldehyde. Items which cannot withstand temperature of 100 degrees Celsius may be sterilized by a method called as low temperature steam formaldehyde sterilization. In this method, steam at subatmospheric pressure at a temperature of 75 degrees Celsius with formaldehyde vapors is used. So remember this, subatmospheric pressure at a temperature of 75 degrees Celsius where formaldehyde vapors are used. Now, the biological control to test the efficacy of LTSF sterilization is Bacillus styrothermophilus. Remember, this is also an important MCQ question. The LTSF method, the test efficacy is determined by Bacillus styrothermophilus. Now, the second method of moist heat sterilization is using the procedures at a temperature equal to 100 degrees Celsius. These are the boiling method, the tyndallization, and the steam sterilizer. So let us study the boiling method. Boiling for 10 to 30 minutes may kill most of the vegetative forms, but the spores may be spared. Boiling is recommended for glass syringes and rubber stoppers, but it is not recommended for sterilizations of instruments for surgical use because the spores are not destroyed by boiling. Then comes the tyndallization. In tyndallization, steam at 100 degrees Celsius is used for 20 minutes for 3 consecutive days. This process is known as tyndallization or intermittent sterilization. Remember this alternative terminology, intermittent sterilization. You may be asked in your Viva, what is intermittent sterilization? So there you have to answer about tyndallization. Steam at 100 degrees Celsius for 20 minutes for 3 consecutive days. Now, the principle is that the first exposure on the first day, the first exposure kills all the vegetative forms, and in the intervals between the heats, the remaining spores germinate into vegetative form. So after first exposure, all the vegetative forms are killed. So the interval between the first and the second exposure, that is around 24 hours, the remaining spores will germinate, and at the second exposure the germinated spores are killed. Then again there is 24 hours gap and the third exposure, and after the third exposure around 100%, approximately 100% of the spores and the vegetative forms would be killed. Tyndallization is mostly used for sterilization of culture media containing egg, serum and sugar, which may be damaged at higher temperature of autoclave. The instrument used for sterilization is the Cox or Arnold steam sterilizer. Now, let us study what is steam sterilizer. In steam sterilizer, 100 degrees Celsius temperature is used for 90 minutes. Cox or Arnold steam sterilizer is usually used for media which are decomposed at higher temperature. The articles are kept on perforated trays and the steam is allowed to pass for about 90 minutes. And by this method, most of the vegetative forms are killed except the thermophiles. Now, the third method of moist heat sterilization is temperature more than 100 degrees Celsius under pressure. This is the principle of autoclave. Now, water boils when its vapor pressure equals to the atmospheric pressure. Increase in the atmospheric pressure also increases the boiling point of the water. So, at 100 degrees Celsius, water boils normally, but when the pressure is applied to it, the temperature of boiling of this water is not 100 degrees Celsius, but it is more than 100 degrees Celsius. So, this is the magic of applying the pressure. Now, this is the principle of autoclave. Steam above 100 degrees Celsius or saturated steam has a better killing power than dry heat. Bacteria are more susceptible to moist heat as bacterial protein coagulates rapidly in moist heat. Saturated steam can penetrate porous material easily. When steam comes in contact with a cooler surface, it condenses to form water and liberates the latent heat to that surface. For example, 60 1600 ml of steam at 100 degrees Celsius at atmospheric pressure condenses into 1 ml of water at 100 degrees Celsius and releases 518 calories of heat. The large reduction in volume sucks in more steam to the same site, and the process continues till the temperature of the article is raised to that of steam. The condensed water produces moist conditions for killing the microbes present. So this is the principle of autoclave. Now the components of the autoclave. Autoclave is a modified pressure cooker or boiler. It consists of a vertical or horizontal cylinder with a supporting iron case, screw clamps, and there is these screw clamps render it airtight by asbestos washer. The lid bears a discharge tap for air and steam and a pressure gauge and a safety valve. So here you can see a autoclave machine where it is made up of a vertical cylinder made up of metal, gunmetal or stainless steel. The lid has screw clamps. Then there is safety valve and pressure gauge to determine the pressure. Now the procedure of autoclave. So the cylinder of the autoclave is filled with sufficient amount of water and the material to be sterilized is placed on the tray. The lid is closed with the discharge tap open. First the discharge tap is kept open, then the heating process is started. The safety valve is adjusted to require pressure. After boiling of water, when this heat is applied to water, the water starts boiling and the steam and air mixture is allowed to escape till all the air has been displaced. So how to check whether all the air inside this chamber has been displaced? This can be tested by leading the escaping steam air mixture into a pail of water through rubber tubing. When bubbles stop coming in that water, it means entire air inside the chamber has been replaced or displaced. Then the discharge tap is then closed when entire air has been displaced. The steam pressure rises inside, and when it reaches the desired set level of 15 lbs per square inch, the safety valve it opens and the excess steam it comes out. When this excess steam starts escaping, from this point the holding period of 15 minutes is counted. After the holding period, the heat is stopped and the autoclave is allowed to cool till the pressure gauge indicates that the temperature inside is equal to the atmospheric pressure. The discharge tap is opened and slowly the air is allowed to enter inside the chamber. The lid is then removed and the sterilized material is removed. So this is the easiest explanation of the principle of autoclave. Now, the sterilization conditions inside the autoclave: temperature 121 degrees Celsius, pressure of the chamber 15 lb per square inch, and the holding time is 15 minutes. Alternative methods are 126 degrees Celsius, pressure 20 lbs per square inch for 10 minutes, or 133 degrees Celsius, 30 lbs per square inch for 3 minutes. Then the uses of autoclave is to sterilize the culture media, rubber material, gowns, dressings and gloves. Precautions to be used: the air must be allowed to escape from the chamber. Temperature of air steam mixture is lower than the pure steam. Then free circulation of steam inside the chamber should be ensured. Now the sterilization control method for autoclave: first, thermocouple. It is used to record the temperature directly by a potentiometer. Second is the use of bacterial spores of Bacillus stereothermophilus, which has a growth temperature of 55 degrees Celsius, and the spores are deactivated in 12 minutes at a temperature of 121 degrees Celsius. Now, filter paper strip containing 10 to the power 6 spores of Bacillus stereothermophilus is placed inside the autoclave. After sterilization, these strips are incubated for 5 days at a temperature of 55 degrees Celsius. If the sterilization process is proper, you will see nothing on incubation. Third method is the chemical indicator method, which uses the Brownie's tube in which the red solution turns green on complete sterilization. And the fourth method is the autoclave tapes. So here we complete with part 2 of sterilization and disinfection. In the next lecture, that is part 3, we will be studying with the chemical methods. That's all for now. Happy studying.